you all so much for the food. I was starving when I got up here, so it was wonderful. I appreciate it. And also for the music that we all have enjoyed while we've been up here. I don't know if many of you know this or not, but I got my start a few years ago here in Grundy County. There was an open seat for chancellor that came up unexpectedly. So in a period of 6 weeks, with the help of the parties across the district, we caucused here in Reagan Day County. I was able to get on the ticket as a Republican Party candidate, and we ran a hard race, we ran a successful race, but I couldn't have done that without everyone here. But again, I just so much appreciate being here today and seeing everybody. And I think that Congressman Desjardins stated when he was started, he talked about our candidates that we have on the ballot, Bradley Sherman and Cam Cameron. We have Ted Engel. And I know that Justin and I have been working hard, Judge Angel and I have been working really hard across the district to ensure our courts are open and accessible, and just working very, very hard. But we couldn't be more proud than we are today to have such strong Republican candidates on the ballot with us. So you all bear with us and get together and let's support them like you guys got behind me a couple years ago, okay? It's good to see everybody. Thank y'all.
Thank you for being with us, Commissioner. We appreciate it. Hey, I forgot to say one thing. Hey, let's thank our band. They do a good job. Appreciate our band. Thank you very much. All right, we have Bradley Sherman with the 12th Judicial District. Please come around, Bradley. Give him a hand as he comes around.
Woo, Bradley!
It's such a pleasure to be back with y'all. This is my third time, I think, in the airplane hangar, and I got to tell you that of all the venues that I've been invited to, this is probably one of the most fun. So it's a pleasure to be back in Grundy County. I look around and I see so many people that I've had the pleasure of meeting over the course of the last couple of years, and just seeing everybody out together again after coming through this Chinese man-made virus that was foisted upon us. I can't tell you how good it is to see all y'all's faces.
Thank you. Woo!
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Anderson. That's right. So, I want to tell y'all who I am and what I'm about, and then more importantly, I'm going to tell you what I want to do for you. My name is Bradley Sherman. I've got the honor and the privilege of being married to this sweet lady, Courtney Sherman, and that little man right there, Oliver Sherman, that's my little boy. I always like to get that out of the way so I don't start squabbling and thinking about them, but needless to say that part of the reason that I got involved in politics as a young conservative is for them and for the future. So I feel very strongly that that little man doesn't deserve what's inevitably coming in this country if people like myself, young people that hold conservative Christian values, don't stand up for natural law, for our constitutional principles, for what our founding fathers believed in, and what so many brave men and women have fought and died for in this country. So, I live down in Franklin County, Tennessee. I live right off this mountain here in Franklin County, a little town called Cowan. Many of y'all have been through Cowan, right there in the foothills of Swanee Mountain there. I work full-time as a prosecutor in Lincoln County, Tennessee, and I serve part-time as a municipal judge in my hometown of Cowan. I am running for one of 2 open circuit court seats that will be created by the retirement of 2 of our sitting judges now. So, just to refer to what the Congressman mentioned and what Chancellor was alluding to, this state court bench can be confusing for people that don't find themselves in the courthouse very often. There are 4 trial court judges at the state level here in this 12th Judicial District. That's Chancellor Willis, Judge Justin Angel, Judge Curtis Smith, and Judge Thomas Rusty Graham. So Judge Graham and Judge Smith are retiring. That creates 2 vacancies. And just as I believe that every position from dog catcher to President of the United States ought to be filled by a good, solid, conservative Republican, we need 2 conservative Republicans on this state court bench to fill these seats. I know that I am the man for the job. One of those seats, I've spent the last 2+ years as chairman of the Franklin County Republican Party, where I still serve in the ceremonial role of past chairman, and we've got a great, vibrant Republican Party down there in Franklin County. And one of the greatest things about doing that, besides meeting all those Franklin County Republicans, is getting to come out and support all these surrounding counties, of which Grundy County is one. And I want to say, even though she's holding the camera here, Ivy Michelle Russell, let's give Ivy Michelle Russell a hand here. This is an awesome lady that works so diligently for conservative candidates all over this region. Dr. Jerry Anderson, our state executive committee man, is here for Jerry. great friends in the Marion County Republican Party. We've got Steve Franklin, chairman of Marion County, Ben and Nancy Perry. Miss Nancy's the secretary. Vaughn Gibson. Let's give a hand to Marion County, y'all, for representing today. My buddy Ted Engel, who's also a candidate, I'll let him speak for himself. But one thing y'all need to know about Ted is he's the treasurer of the Ray County Republican Party, so he's minding the P's and Q's and the dollars and cents for conservatives up on that end of the district. Let's give a hand for Ted. The band's great, the food's great, the weather's great, y'all are great. It's such a pleasure to come up here. Miss Suzanne Sapp made it all the way down from Pikeville. Where are you at, Suzanne? This is our Bledsoe County chairperson. This job is interesting, y'all, because they tell me you're going to run for Judge Bradley, you got to be impartial, neutral, objective, you don't want to talk too much about politics. So there's a lot of things I can't talk about. I can't talk about the fact that they stole this election from me and you, and we'll never get it back. I can't talk about the fact that Chinese scientists made this virus in the lab and turned it loose on the world and cost all of us a year of our lives, billions of dollars, killed a lot of people, and we still can't get answers from our government about where this all began and who knew what and when they knew it.
Amen.
It's sickening. What I will talk about is what I want to do for y'all. A judge's role in this community in a circuit court bench is to oversee criminal matters, to oversee general civil matters, to oversee appeals from municipal courts, to preside over trials, everything from traffic tickets to first-degree murder. The reason that you need a good common sense conservative judge is, you know, rather than make a statement, I want to ask y'all a question. Do you want somebody that voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris deciding what happens to your rights in that courtroom?
No.
Okay. I thought y'all might say that. My promise to y'all is when you elect me as one of the 2 new circuit court judges, I promise y'all that I'm going to bring to bear on that position the kind of compassion that I've learned growing up in a Christian household. I'm thankful to the Lord that I've got a second chance in Jesus Christ, and I want to make sure that everybody gets a second chance in my court. Okay? But the common sense comes in here. I believe in second chances, but I don't believe in third, fourth, fifth, and sixth chances. If you're hurting children, if you're involved in human trafficking, child pornography, violent crime, hard drugs in these communities, I'm going to make sure that y'all know that my priority is the safety of these communities by sending those kind of malefactors up the river. I might send them to Suzanne and Bledsoe County to the penitentiary where they need to be. And I also promise y'all that I will let the facts and the law dictate every decision that I make. You know, what's missing in so much of our political sphere nowadays is the courage to stand up for what's right, the courage to follow the evidence wherever it leads. Who in this room believes that so much of our problem today is that we're getting spoon-fed lies and being asked to go along with it by our mainstream media?
Yes.
We have to rededicate ourselves to the truth. The truth is the only thing that's going to save us. Returning to the principles of our founders, individual liberty as a solution to these unconscious collectivist problems created by socialists and bureaucratic quislings in Washington, D.C., are the only things that are going to preserve these wonderful communities and the way of life that we enjoy right down here in the 12th Judicial District. And I promise that when I'm up there on the bench, I'm going to be looking out for all of y'all by having the courage to follow the facts and the law wherever they lead and go only where the evidence takes me. I will not be the kind of activist judge that you watched thwart President Trump at every turn for the last 4 years. Who here believes that there's no way a federal court judge in Hawaii and California ought to be able to stop President Trump from doing what's best for the American people? Common sense, courage, and compassion is what I promise y'all. Find me on Facebook, check me out online, come say hello. I've got t-shirts, stickers, bumper stickers. I got this little man right here.
Oh.
I look forward to y'all's vote next May in the Republican primary. I look forward to serving this district for years to come. Tell them bye, man. Bye.
we're glad to have Brady with us today. I've also got Cam Cameron for the 12th Judicial District.
I've got to run, thank you, but I'm going to thank my staff for being here. If I steal the mic for a second.
Whoop, got another.
I got to interrupt Cam because I got to keep peace in my family. Amy Dennis, Shirley Pond, people that you all talk to that get things done for me, they're sitting back here. I want to thank them for being here.
Woo!
I will turn it over to our next 12th District Judge, Cam Cameron.
Well, I kind of look like my brother Scott, so we could be twins. Folks, I'll be very brief. My name's Cam Cameron. I am running for one of the spots that was mentioned, expected vacancy that's going to be coming up in the judicial court. I'm in private practice in Jasper, Tennessee. I've been there practicing for 19 years. Practiced with my father, Harvey Cameron, who has been in this district in the practice of law for some 50-something years. My grandfather's a lawyer. I come from a bunch of sorry lawyers. My practice is diverse. I handle both civil and criminal matters, the same cases that would be heard before your circuit judges. I've handled in the criminal realm everything from public intoxication to homicide cases. In the civil realm, I've handled property disputes, contract disputes, divorces, you name it, I've covered it. In addition to that, like Bradley, I'm a municipal court judge for the city of South Pittsburgh, is where we do that. And I also sit as a special judge in Marion County in General Sessions Court, hearing both civil and criminal matters. My experience, I believe, in private practice and on the bench has given me the tools that I believe will make me an effective and efficient judge. I'm glad to be here today. Look forward to meeting each and every one of you, and I'll work hard to earn your vote. What I can tell you is if you want a judge that's fair but firm, that's humble and respectful, I submit I check those boxes, and I'd ask for your support, and I'm going to earn it. Thank you.
Thank you, Cam, for being with us today. All right, that brings us to Ted Engel for Public Defender. If you please come around, give him a hand as he comes around. Welcome to Reagan Day.
I want to apologize first off. I seem a little nervous. I'm not really a football candidate by nature. I think I'm probably the first person in my family to ever run for anything other than dinner. My name's Ted Engel. I'm native of Reagan County over on this side of the mountain. I'm here with my lovely wife, Ashley. We couldn't bring our little boy Theodore because he probably lighting fires in the woods or something by now. He's a handful. But I have kind of the unhappy task of standing here before you and convincing you why I'm the right guy to run for public defender and get the kind of services none of y'all are probably going to need. Y'all are a lot like decent people. I want to talk to you a little bit about why that office is important. One thing I've noticed throughout the course of my life is that the single greatest threat to our liberty, to our freedom, is government. And the public defender's office is unique because it's the only office of the government that exists for the sole purpose of trying to stop the government from doing stuff the government wants to do. And when you talk about criminal justice, we talk about the jobs that Bradley and Cam are running for, we talk about the job that Justin Angel does so well right now. It has to be right every time. If we're going to take somebody's freedom away, take somebody's liberty away, put somebody in jail or in prison, we have to make sure every time that we got the right person. And that's what the public defender does. Their job is to stand next to that person who's charged with the crime, the citizen accused, and to stand there and make sure he has every shot. To stand there and make sure that the government's case is challenged at every turn. In my career, I've been a public defender, an assistant public defender down in Chattanooga since 2013. I was in private practice for a while before that. I figure I've handled at this point about 10,000 criminal cases. And my philosophy is that I can't always be sure I'll be the smartest person in the room. In fact, I'm often not. I can't make sure I'll be the most talented person in the room. I'm often not. But what I can make sure is I'll be the hardest working person in the room. Because the person who's standing next to a citizen accused, the person who's charged with taking care of and protecting someone's liberty, needs to be the person who knows the law best, knows the rules the best, and knows the facts of the case the best of anybody in that room. And that's the ethic I want to bring to the public defender's office. I want to make sure that everybody that's charged with a crime in this district gets their fair day in court, gets their fair shake, and has somebody there to fight for them to make sure that justice is served properly and the right way. Because of that, I appreciate y'all's vote, and I want to thank y'all for having me here today.
Thank you, Ted. Glad to have you with us today. All right, looking around here. We have going to speak with us today the Grundy County Mayor, Michael Brady. Michael Brady, would you come on around? Give your hands and come around. You've been here before, haven't you? There he is.
Mention my name, I'll start with and everything that was me. But thank you for allowing me to be here, and thank you for that wonderful food. I'll be brief, and I think Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, when you speak, be brief, be honest, and be seated. And so I'm going to call that advice today. And I see a lot of folks here from outside the area. So if you would please, whenever you go home, if you would stop at all the stores and spend a lot of money as you travel. So we appreciate that. But one thing I want to talk about real briefly is Grundy County is on the move. We're only at, I think, less than a half a percentile coming out of the distressed status. I've always felt like that we were a challenged community, but we were going to meet those challenges head on. And so it's good to be here today with a lot of conservative-minded people, because one of the things that I want to reflect on is what the gentleman just said about the truth. And the truth is that we are in a time of our nation where it is very, in my opinion, probably the most pivotal point of our nation that we're heading. And so I want everybody, he said the truth, so I want to tell you this as far as the county mayor's office, that I will always be for being good stewards for their taxpayer dollars. Reagan County right now, we haven't had a tax rate or a levy increase since 2014. Another thing is that, make no bones about it, that we will promote job growth instead of handouts and everything. So again, I just want to thank you for this time.